Hello again and welcome back to Wingot Plays Nomifactory, where today our goal is to work a bit further through our late game chapter to hopefully get the tier 5 microminer and the Naquadah ingots online. To get the tier 5 microminer though, we're going to need iridium heavy plates, and to make those we're going to need an LUV compressor, an elite compressor. We have actually already taught the system how to make that, and it just needs to learn how to make niobium titanium cable and the LUV electric piston. So let's pop over here, and the piston, the LUV electric piston, is made in the assembly line, which we just have not taught the system how to make that one yet. That has 9 ingredients though. It needs lubricant and soldering alloy. And okay, integrated circuit set to the number 2. So let's take that out of there, and then what we want to do is go over to our assembly line. We could have just gone and placed it into this interface using our interface terminal, but what I do want to check is I want to check that we can actually get the rest of this set up. So we are going to need, show me this. So this one here needs 9 items plus with no configuration card. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got space for 11, so we've currently got 2 of these not being used. So if we grab a random configuration card, set that to the number 2, and if we go over here and tell this to use blocking mode so it won't insert, do not push if there is an item in there. And then what we can do is we can put it here. Alternatively, what we actually, hang on, that's an input bus as well. Okay, I'm just going to move it to this one, and that way we've got 9 available there. Alternatively, we could actually just remove that laser, but this works just the same. So that should hopefully work. Now we just need to make sure that our fluid hatches contain the fluids that we need. We've got soldering alloy already here, but now we're also going to need lubricant. So let's go here and grab our second interface, which that can expose lubricant to the system. Perfect, and then that will automatically get pulled into there. Good, and so then we should be able to request the LUV piston be made, and we're going to need to sort out all the rest of the components there. But it at least now knows the recipe for the piston. So let us quickly go here and grab our piston. We'll throw it up topside there. What's the other thing we need to make the compressor? We needed a cable of some sort. We needed this here, the Nomifactory titanium cable. So that's the other thing that we're going to need to automate. But step 1, let's see, HSSG. We've taught the system to make rods, ingots, frames, coils. Rods, so ring is new, plate is new. What's a round? Okay, let's teach it to make plates, which can be made in an LV. So we will, oh hang on, no, we already know how to make plates. Reset that. Okay, let's teach it to make rings in an extruder with a ring pattern. We'll do 8 because there's 8 machines. Actually, we'll do 16 because at some point we'll probably upgrade it to have 16 extruders. Now, if we look up ring pattern, I should rename that interface, but that should just work. Good. Now, the gear, it doesn't know how to make the gear. It doesn't know how to make the small gear. So let's work on those. So the extruder here, yep, there we go. And the small gear, oops. And so HSSG, we've got 500 in the system, so having these crafts should be fine. we'll probably need to up how many it stores of the HSSG, but this is looking like it should work. And then the last question is, how do we make a round? We make a round in a lathe with a nugget. And then I suspect we can make a nugget just in a molecular assembler. So, molecular assembler can have that. Lathe. The lathe array gets to have that. And then gears. So the small gear goes there, the large gear goes there. Good. So at that point, the only thing it's missing is the motor and the yttrium barium cuprate cable. So the cable is probably actually pretty simple. We just need to run in a assembler with 24 silicone. Yep, good. So we've got that, and then we just need to teach it how to make the wires themselves, which are made, of course, in our wire mill. In fact, let's change this one to also be 16. Good. Now, 24 is the assembler that makes cables, and wire mill down here gets that recipe. Perfect. So that's all of that. Now we do just need to teach it how to make the electric motor, which hopefully should be fairly simple. We've already got lubricant and solder alloy going into that. Yttrium barium cuprate cable we've made, long HSSG rod we've made, long magnetic, actually, what about long? Okay, we haven't made the long. The fine annealed copper wire we're already making, but let me just check on that. We're only making 2 stacks, so let's go see. That's fine annealed, yep. So let us go change this one to, in fact, let's change this one so that it just gives us 32 stacks. Perfect, now that'll run away. Put that away, good. Now, here we've got the assembly line. There we go. Can have that recipe. And then, if we take a look here, we need to teach how to make long HSG rods, which is here, in a lathe with a normal rod, well, 2 normal rods. And then we finally just need to teach it how to make the long magnetic neodymium, which is there, again, a lathe. And then magnetic neodymium is made in an electrolyzer. Electromagnetic polarizer. And the show me neodymium. Have we taught it how to make? Oh, we've taught it how to make magnetic neodymium actually. So let's clear that card. And then you just need, that's the wire mill, that's the lathe. So wire mill gets that, and lathe gets that. Now we'll change this recipe. There we go. Perfect. So at that point we should be able to craft the piston. Good. And we'll pop over here, make sure everything works. I love how quickly everything's crafting. Although, yep, okay, good. Now we're waiting on, that should be the lathe, that should be the extruder. Have I screwed something up there? Looks like I have. Let's take a look. Magnetic. Yeah, I put it into the wire mill. So that goes into the lathe instead. And then if we pop over here to our wire mill, it's probably just sitting there. Good. And if we throw that instead into the lathe, that's recipes. How did recipes wind up in there? I think these are all the recipes that went missing when I tried to put them into here. Now the question is, are any of these duplicates? Electrum, gold. Gold, okay. Steel screw. Steel screw. Diamond rod. I think that looks unique. Tin screw. Bronze screw. Aluminium rod. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, these all went missing when I tried to put them into this array before I had the expansion cards in there. They must have gone up into there and then pulled into this input bus. Perfect. Now, anyway, so at that point, it should be able to make that, except something is stuck. Actually, I think it's stuck because there is something in that input bus. That would be my guess as to what's going on here. So, let us just remove this laser here. Good. And then did it progress? Yep, it's at least crafting. Good. Or at least it thinks it is. Yep, good. It looks like it is crafting. Good. And then as soon as that is done, it'll then put that back in and make our piston. Perfect. And then we can use that piston to make our compressor and replace this guy over here, chemical bath, that compressor. Probably actually though we should just build a new setup specifically for this. Just wondering where it goes. All of those being used. This here, I really should tidy a lot of this up. But what I could do, yeah, I'll put it somewhere else, it's fine. So we should have got our piston, perfect, and now we can make our LV compressor, LUV compressor. Except we haven't taught it yet how to make niobium titanium. Okay, so we need cables, or is it? Yeah, it's cable. Okay, so cable will be easy. It's just the assembler with a 24 and a silicon rubber. Good. So 24, you get to go there. Perfect. Now, the next step though, we need niobium titanium in a wiper. Let me just check. I don't think... Yeah. We've got niobium dust, so that's actually looking promising. Good. Now... Yeah, don't know how to make niobium titanium ingots, which is a blast furnace, I'm sure. With a niobium ingot and a titanium, niobium is going to just be dust into ingot. So, actually, let's just check on that. So, you need to be nitron level. Okay, so I can go into any of these. The question is, do we have anything here duplicated? We do. We've got signalum ingot here duplicated. What I might do, I might... Okay, whatever. I might change this one to say, let's do 3500, so it makes another 1500. We'll get some more aluminum going on board as well. Yttrium, barium, fine. Energetic silver. Now, signalum here can be redone. Tungsten, neodymium. I think that tungsten's spare, actually. But, let's stop being distracted, and this guy can be changed to niobium type. No, it needs to be changed. Step 1, put that there. Oh, that's not going to work because I need to be in this view. And now niobium ingot. Good. Niobium titanium, niobium nitrate, niobium. Good. So this can be set to that, and we want to start with, let's say, 512 niobium, and then it's running because it's got the wrong thing in there. So pop upstairs and grab out some iron conduits. so that we can, oops, so that we can access this here. Yep, signalum, good. Change that to being niobium dust. Perfect. Now, take that out, put it back into the system, put back our solar panels, and then what we want is, in fact, we can just go down here. So if that's going to be niobium, then this here needs to expose niobium dust. Good. At which point that should start running with niobium dust, and we can grab that niobium out, and it looks like it's being processed rather quickly. Perfect. Now we need to make niobium tungsten. No, niobium titanium, which is made in a tungsten steel. So what spare capacity we do over here in our tungsten steel? This guy here. So we're going to need to put a new output bus. MV's fine. There. It doesn't need a fluid at all. Nope. So we can just use a heat-proof hatch. And then finally we need an input bus. Good. Now that cannot be ULV. MV. Good. Pop up to there. Delete. Well, move these out of the way. And then, there we go, perfect. So this is our hatches. Good. So this output hatch here, output bus, needs to be set to extract on white, and then this one's going to need a limited item filter set to those two ingots. So it's going to need niobium ingot here, and it's going to need titanium ingot. There, perfect. Now that can insert on brown, don't extract, and then we just need a few facades of Vena. What's this? Bit. Okay, that can just go there. Good. Now, right, we need to set this to expose titanium ingots and niobium ingots. Good. And that's running. Perfect. Looks like it runs reasonably fast, so we then take a look at our niobium and titanium. Perfect, that gets to go there. And we might as well hold this in our hand so that we can do that, and so we always want to have 512 of that in stock. Perfect. So that will now build up. Great. And then if we go back to our compressor, we should be able to request that as soon as we get a few more niobium titanium ingots, just because we've told it to always craft 16 at a time. And it's processing fairly quickly, so very soon we will be able to craft this. In fact, we might as well head back over. What I think I want to do is I want to move. The question is which setup is the easiest to move. I've got so many of these weird setups here. The compressor can now be built, perfect. And for now, actually, let's just plot it down here. And I'll have to come back later and fix it up. We've got our CEF, we've got the cabling. Let us just put CEF there. A bit of cabling. Good. And this will allow us to put a bit of a custom line here. We're going to need energy conduit to feed power into the system, of course. And then we are just going to need our compressor. As soon as it's done, it's making the pistons at the moment. Two electric pistons. There we go, it's done. Oh, I think something got stuck here. Yeah, I think the magnetic iron rods are actually getting stuck. But let us grab this. So, elite compressor, perfect. Now that just needs an interface on top of it. There, Good, and then we just need an any conduit along the back there. Perfect. So then we just need to set it up so that it can import and export. Export to the top, input from the top side as well, and you get to output. Also, I notice we've got these solar panels, so let's go put those back where they belong. Not that they're actually providing all that much energy, because over there we've got those red solar panels, and each individual one of those is producing the same as 4 of these. So this half of a wing there of green is producing the same as all of those blues. I do prefer the blue. I think it's got a bit, it looks better for the International Space Station style look, but the green is just so much better in regards to power input. Now that that's done, we need to go to the next step. We need to tell that compressor how to make the iridium heavy plates. Good. And then if we pop over here to our iridium, that can go there, and then we should be able to make iridium heavy plating. Let's make 10 of that. Go. Iridium plates makes iridium heavy plating, and then that should just get pushed back into the system. Perfect. And there they are. Good. Now, that's done. So, in fact, let's grab the iridium heavy plating out of the system, because I'm sure that is a quest. And then we've made our compressor, we've made our iridium heavy plating, and now we just need to make the tier 5 microminer, which will give us access to, what's it called? Naquadah. So, the iridium plated microminer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 unique ingredients. So what we can do is we can pop over here. In fact, I think what we want to do is we want to actually go to our package, which we've got in there, our package crafter, and just encode the recipe straight there. So over here we've got our package recipe encoder. So package, we need some of these package recipe holders. Good. And then this recipe is on the Elite Extended Crafting Table, which is what we've got set here. So we can just go like that. We can throw 2 of these into there and save them. Good. Now they hold that recipe, iridium plated microminer, and then we just need a packager and an unpackager, which we've got 1 of each, and we're going to need these Elite package crafters. Good. And that should craft away in the background. And in the meantime, let's just put our unpackager there, a packager there. They're going to need an ME conduit, attaching them. Although, they seem to have gotten power. Maybe, can they get power through this Elite package crafter? Maybe. Then the question is, can the recipe also travel through there? Good. So, iridium, oh, it does look like it'll work. So if we do that, meanwhile, if we take a look here, Elite, we just need, we'll take those and then iridium. Good. These can go here. Perfect. It's making the extra couple of iridium heavy plating, then it'll slowly make the single element microminer engine cores. And as soon as those are crafted, it will use this packager and packager combo plus the Elite package crafters to make our iridium plated microminer. I think this is just an incredibly slow recipe. Single element microminer engine core. 50 seconds at EV tier. Yeah. In a alloy smelter. I feel like I've seen it complete every time previously, so I think I just want to keep waiting. EV tier, I think we do only have EV tier alloy smelters over there, so it will take the full 50 seconds to complete. And it'll be very nice when we can replace the processing array machines with IV tier and LUV tier machines. But for now, it's a considerable slow point. I do feel like that's been over 50 seconds at this point though. Oh, there we go, and it's finished. And it says it's crafting. The iridium plated micro miner. But I'm a bit confused about what's happening here. So I'm pretty sure it should be winding up inside of these. Because this is how I've set that one up. Okay, cancel that. Make that. Why are you crafting things? Okay, where did all of that wind up? Ooh. How? Oh, I think that's an old recipe that I've encoded. Okay, let's put all of these back into the system. And then tell it to craft just one. Go. Oh, there we go. It's crafting. There you go. It's slowly crafting. Boom. And there we go. Iridium plated micro miner. Perfect. And then we can... Where's the... Ah. The elite package crafter can go there. Good. And then this quantum chest is empty. This can be reset. And then let us go see what we need to do about... Actually, we'll set up the automation for this right now. So this can make various ores. It can make Naquadah dust. So uranium, plutonium, I think we've already set up both of those. All we need to do now is just get 2 pieces of paper. And then one is going to say micro miner tier 5 ore. And the other is going to say micro miner T5 Naquadah. Perfect. Now what we want to do is we want to grab this here and tell it that this is the ore recipe. Perfect. And then what we also want to grab this one here and tell it that this is the Naquadah recipe. Perfect. Or Naquadah. Good. And then we may as well get it making another. Let's get it to make 3 more of these in the background. Perfect. While we go over here and set up the recipes for it to be able to automatically use these micro miners. So over here we've got these setups for the tier 4s, osmium, iridium, and dense ore. And then we want to grab our yellow wrench. Nope, wrong wrench. That one there. Get rid of that one. We want 2 interfaces. think I want an export bus. In fact, we want 2 export buses for sure. And that can go here, an interface there, good. And then this one here should, yep, good. The level emitter didn't break. We can put the export bus there with this ME cable there. And then finally, these are all connected to the same system. Perfect. So this one here is our osmium iridium. This one here is our dense ore. So let's use this one for our dense ore. And then this one can, we do need 2 crafting cards and 2 redstone cards. Good. So this gets a redstone card on with signal. Good. You want to export that. And then I think what I want to do for now is get rid of that so we can put that there, throw a level, actually, I don't know, it does. It needs the level emitter there. I think that cable does need to be there, so we need a bit more fluids. So we can do that. Good. Now this one, set to that with a crafting card. Good. And then that should just work. And then over here, we just need to do the same setup. So you go there, you go there, you, whenever this is being crafted, you get that, you get that, and then redstone card that. Perfect. And then, perfect. That should now work. And we should be able to request T5. It knows how to make Naquadah. Ah, this one is not actually connected into the system, so let's grab our piece of ME conduit, put that there, and now it should know how to make both. Perfect. So let's start with the Naquadah. Although, let me just check how this is all set up. This is set up with a whitelist, so it only gets rid of things that we tell it to. This is set up with a whitelist. Good, so everything should just sit in the output bus. Go. Go Naquadah, go. What's going on? Didn't already finish, did it? Scheduled. Oh. That's not an input bus. Input bus gets everything it needs, perfect. And then that craft will have actually finished. Apparently not. Good. And then that will run, perfect. And it looks like that export didn't work, because that never turned on. While item is crafting, or, oh, this one turned on. Naquadah. Naquadah. Oh, because I never put these back into the system. Perfect. Good, so that should work. And then we won't wind up with Naquadah in the system, it'll just wind up in here as soon as that process finishes. Perfect. But then we might as well also tell it to T5 or, although I am interested. Tier 5. What ores do we get? Uranium, fine. Palladium, tenantite, which gets us iron, antimony. I don't know what tenantite. Copper, arsenic, sulfur. Okay. Bastnasite, which I think is useful for rare earth, and neodymium, cerium, enderpearl, osmium, monazite, sphalerite, boron, beryllium, molybdenite. So the main thing we're actually after at the moment is this Naquadah dust. And speaking of, that's finished. So we can pop over here, grab some of our Naquadah dust, and we'll tell the system, pull the Naquadah dust into the system. Perfect. And then lastly, I'm sure this will be a blast furnace recipe to convert that Naquadah. Although, let me just check. That Naquadah needs to be in an HSSG blast furnace, which we don't yet have set up. That said, we do have HSSG coils set up, so it should not be very hard at all for me to set up a blast furnace. It'll just be a matter of where it could possibly go. I think what I'm going to wind up doing is putting it over in our fluids wing, because over here we've got a lot of unutilized space, and so we will probably just put our blast furnace over here in like that space. Yeah, but that's something I will do probably just between episodes, because crafting a blast furnace, in fact, it'll be fairly quick to craft, but then setting up all of the infrastructure will take a little bit of time. So I think I'll do that between episodes. Thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.